Hey everybody, welcome to Wacky Wednesday number 10 on the Mana Leek. I'm John as always. We have made it to number 10. We're 10 weeks in of doing wacky, kind of screwed up stuff with Magic the Gathering. What are we going to do this week? Well, we're going to do a rare draft. We've done rare drafts in Khans, we've done rare drafts in M15. We're going to jump back to the oldest format currently on Magic Online. We're going to go all the way back to last year, and we're going to do rare draft Theros block. So we're going to do one pack of Journey into Nyx, one pack of Born of the Gods, and one pack of Theros. We are going to take every single rare that we see, and we are going to play every single rare that we see. We will probably end up in 5 colors. We may not do well, but who knows what could happen. We could get a bunch of awesome mythic rares, or we could just get a bunch of garbage. But we're going to jump into this Swiss queue, and we're going to see what happens. I should also note that I haven't played a Theros block draft in quite a while. Probably a good 6 months? Does that sound about right? No, it's probably more like 4 months, maybe 5, but it's been a while. I've played a lot of Khans, and I played a fair amount of M15. I really liked Theros block. Some people found it underpowered or a little bit boring, but I quite enjoyed it. I played a heck of a lot of it in paper. Not that much online, actually. This was back before my local store shut down for the time being. Luckily, it's going to reopen soon, so I'm going to have more paper Magic. But yeah, Theros was fun. I liked it. There are some high-value rares that I hope to see. There are some low-value rares that I hope not to see. But we'll see how this goes. Might take a while for us to get the last 3 people in. So I'm going to pause this, and I will see you guys once we open the first pack. Hey everybody, seems like it was just a split second ago that we joined that queue, but be glad you guys didn't have to wait, because that took almost 15 minutes to get the last 3 people in. But we're in! We have opened a pack of Journey, which I have not done in a very long time, and we are staring down a Hall of Triumph. As Hall of Triumph enters the battlefield, choose a color. Creatures you control of the chosen color get +1/+1. It's a great rare to start with because it is colorless. It goes in every single deck that we could end up playing. It's going to be a bit challenging if we do end up 5 colors, because who knows what color we should choose. Hopefully we get lucky and we stay in 4 or 3 or maybe even 2 colors, but who knows what could happen. But it's a rare. We're going to have to take it. I don't see too much else in the pack that I would want offhand anyways. There's a Golden Hind and a Johnny's Presence. I guess there's a Feast of Dreams, which is pretty darn good. But we are rare drafting. This is Wacky Wednesday. In goes the Hall of Triumph. And let's see if we get another rare. Of course, with the rare draft wacky rules, we have to take a rare if we see it, and we have to play every rare we take. But if there's not a rare, we just get to build our deck the way we want to. So we get to take good cards. We get to play slightly spiky. So we've got a Forgeborn Oreads, an Hour of Need, which I remember loving, and it never living up to what I had hoped it would be. There's a Blade Tusk Boar, which I remember being very good. Almost obnoxiously good. There's a Supply Line Cranes, a Farika's Chosen, but I think we're going to grab that Blade Tusk Boar. It's just a really solid card. If you're not playing against a red deck, there's not much that can block it, and a 3/2 for 4 that can't be blocked by a lot of cards in the draft is pretty good. Forgeborn Oreads, we would need to kind of be pushing for enchantments, and I don't know. I feel like I should have liked that card more than I did, but I feel like I never really got to go off with it. Yeah, I think it's just Blade Tusk Boar here. No rare, so we get to look at other stuff. We've got a Blood Crazed Hoplite, which I probably liked more than I should have. We've got a Warwing Siren. We've got a Flurry of Horns if we wanted to stay just red for the time being. And maybe I do. Got an Oakheart Dryads. I think I'm just going to stay red for the time being. If I was a bit more brave, I would take that Warwing Siren, I think. But let's take the Flurry of Horns. Currently, we will be choosing red for Hall of Triumph. Oh, there's a rare. We got to take it. Battlefield Thaumaturge. I kind of like him. You do have to get pretty lucky for his ability to be that good, but he is also a 2/1 for 2, which is alright. So we're going to take that because we have to, and we'll play it because we have to. Otherwise, in this pack, I'd probably be looking at nothing? Nothing is great here. So I'm actually pretty okay taking that Battlefield Thaumaturge. Looks like we are Keranos colors for the time being. Let's see, we've got a Cyclops of Eternal Fury, which is not that great. We've got another Flurry of Horns, which we could take. We could try to be the Minotaur deck. We've got another Warwing Siren. Another Blood Crazed Hoplite. It looks like we're looking at the same print run as that last pack. So let's see. Up against Flurry would be the Hoplite, the Siren. I guess I could take the Siren since I'm going to be playing blue. It's always nice to take all the flurries and then get lucky with the good Minotaurs in the following two packs, but of course you have to be lucky for that to work. So I think we will just take the Warwing Siren here. Eidolon of Rhetoric's uncommon, yeah? Yeah. We've got Riddle of Lightning, which isn't that good. Or a God Hunter Octopus, which is not that good. I guess we'll take Riddle of Lightning. Don't know if we'll play it. You want to have a lot of high casting cost cards in your deck for it to be any good. I don't really want to dip into another color just yet. If we can stay blue-red, then we're good. But who knows what that pack 3 rare is going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 2 more packs to go. If there are bad rares wheeling around, we still have a couple chances to get them. But we're going to take that Riddle of Lightning and see where we go. No rares, still doing good. We've got a Hubris, which I liked way more than I should have, I think. It's surprisingly just not quite Voyage's End. That Scry on Voyage's End is just really good. And the fact that all the bestow creatures go back to their hand is not good. I think we're going to take it here because it's either that Rise of the Eagles or Pensive Minotaur. Although maybe we should take Pensive Minotaur. It's a 2/3 for 3. Yeah, I'll take the Pensive Minotaur. Ew, Skybind. Ew. The upside is there's nothing else in the pack that I want, but ew. This card's bad. I have to play it. But it may be like some of the other rares that we've had in these rare drafts where it's a 41st card that I pretend I don't have. Let's see, what do we have here? Not much. We have an Ajani's Presence if I do plan to play a bit of white. Or we've got, I don't even know what Pull from the Deep does. I don't think I've ever played it. 2 blue, return up to 1 target instant card and 1, oh, it's that one. Instant and sorcery from your graveyard. I'll take the Ajani's Presence just in the off chance that I play some white. Quarry Colossus could push me white as well. I guess we only have 2 blue cards. One must be played. The other doesn't have to be. I mean, I don't really want to play Skybind, but I guess we could maybe try red-white, see where it takes us. Gluttonous Cyclops, Chariot of Victory. First Strike, Trample Haste. Not worth a card. We'll take the Cyclops. I don't think we'll play it, though. In fact, I'm going to... No, I'll leave it here for the time being. God Hunter Octopus we'll take and immediately throw in the sideboard, though. Same with Font of Fortunes and Desecration Plague. And whatever land we get. So we're red and maybe white. Maybe white. And then, of course, a splash blue for our Thaumaturge. Of course, unfortunately, 2 of our white cards are double white. One we don't really care about ever really casting. How does it exactly work? So it's Constellation, so whenever I put an enchantment into the battlefield, ooh, a Karametra, I get to blink, delayed blink a non-enchantment. Well, we're going to take Karametra because we have to, and we have to play her, which means we are going into 4 colors. I don't know if I'll ever get her online, but she is white, which could help get her online, I suppose. But we got to take it. We've got to take Fated Conflagration. It's a rare. We have to play it. Goes in our red, at least. Not a great burn spell, though, especially because it doesn't hit the player. It is only creatures or planeswalkers, but we got to take it, and in it goes. Oracle of Bones, yet another rare. Luckily, all these rares are red so far, outside of Karametra. So we're going to take Oracle of Bones. It is a 3/1 that's hasty, and it's tribute 2, meaning that our opponent has to either give it 2 +1/+1 counters or suffer the consequences. The consequences are that I get to cast an instant or sorcery from my hand without paying its mana cost. There we go. The cavalcade of rares has stopped for the time being. So, what are we looking at? We're looking at 1 blue card we must play. We're looking at 2 white cards we kind of want to play. A blue card we kind of want to play. So, perhaps we take a white card. And Revoke Existence in this format is a pretty good card. I don't like the blues. Despite Karametra, I don't terribly see a reason to push into green, especially because Grave Robber Spider requires a black too. I see no reason so far to go into black. And Reckless Reveler we can get if we need to, so we're going to take that revoke. What do we got here? We've got Oresco's Sun Guide. I love Oresco's Sun Guide. A 2/2 that when it untaps, you gain 2 life. It's perfectly fine by me. Nothing red. Looks like there's no red in this pack at all, so maybe red's on our left side there. But we're going to take that Oresco's Swift Guide. What do we got here? We've got Fearsome Temper, which I actually kind of like. So it's enchantment aura. So it's not a bestow. It's none of the business that Theros is about. It's just an aura. Goes on your creature. That creature gets +2/+2 and has 2 in a red and can't block. It's actually a not terrible aura. But auras are always not great, especially because there is a fair bit of enchantment removal in this set. But our other choices are Impetuous Sunchaser, which we're not going to play, and Griffin Dreamfinder, which I really don't think we're going to play. Again, it's double white too. So we'll just take that Fearsome Temper. We have to take Whim of the Fates. Starting with you, each player separates all permanents he or she controls into 3 piles. Each player chooses one of his or her piles at random and sacrifices them. So, stuff happens is essentially what that card says. And stuff is going to happen in our deck because we have to play it. Ew. Well, this is going to be our 41st card. We're not going to be splashing nearly enough black to play Fated Return. We have to take it, we have to play it, but we're not gonna plan on ever playing it. I'll take a Faragax Giant. It goes in with my stuff. I'll take a Rise to the Challenge. I don't know if I'll play it. Let me pitch that Warwing Siren. Ooh, an Elite Skirmisher. It's pretty late for an Elite Skirmisher, actually. Let's take the Hold at Bay and get rid of it. The Wayfinder and get rid of it. The Claim and get rid of it. And this Land and get rid of it. So we're already at 21 cards. So I don't know what we're going to do. Some of those bad rares are really going to ruin us. Really going to ruin us. We're not going to put any swamps in. This card essentially doesn't exist. We are red, white, with an island and a forest. Ooh. Speaking of red-white, I will take a Temple of Triumph. Absolutely I will. I mean, I have to, but I also will, gladly. I feel like Temple of Triumph... Oh no, I think the Theros temples are actually pretty cheap online. It's the Journey temples that are surprisingly expensive online. No rares, so we get a choice. So we're looking at Ordeal of Heliod or Minotaur Skullcleaver. I think I like the Ordeal a little bit more. Another temple. I'll play it. I mean, well, I have to play it, of course, but it is one of our colors. It doesn't tap for 3 black, unfortunately, so we're still not going to play that Fated Return. Or we're going to play it, we're just never going to cast it. We're going to pretend it doesn't exist, and if we draw it, we're going to be very sad. I actually don't mind our deck. It's obviously very underpowered and odd, but I don't mind it for being underpowered and odd. I would like another creature, or 5. I can pitch the Rise to the Challenge, because of course we don't have creatures to hit with it. I can also maybe just pitch the Ajani's Presence and the Ordeal if I happen to get a couple of decent creatures. Are there any decent creatures here? The answer to that is no. Not for us anyways. There is Vaporkin, but I think I just want to keep the 1 blue card. So our choices really are Leonin Snarecaster, Vanquish the Foul, we're not going to play. Battle-wise, Hoplite or Shipwreck Singer are pretty decent. We are going to have a blue source for the Thaumaturge, so maybe I do take the Battle-wise Hoplite. Maybe I do take the Battle-wise Hoplite. Let's do it. Risky, but let's do it. Let's see. Nothing great, white or red. I think for the first time ever, I'm actually happy to take an Anvil Rot Raptor. It's a 2/1 flying first strike for 4, which isn't great, but I mean, it's colorless. We can cast it. There's also a Traveler's Amulet, which might be pretty darn useful for me. No, we're going to take the Raptor. Get another creature. And there's a Raptor, so I could have taken what I wanted. We've got a Minotaur Skullcleaver, a Voyage's End that I would have liked had we have stuck into blue. But I think I'm just going to take that Skullcleaver and replace the Presence. Or maybe the Revoke. Yeah, the Revoke. Skullcleaver in. Titan of Eternal Fire. It's a rare. We have to play it. It's in. Which means we have to take something else out. Traveler's Amulet. I think this is the place that I take it. There's Necron Crusader, which is quite good. And if I was drafting normally with a normal deck, I would take it. But this ain't a normal deck. We have Whims of Fate sitting there, and we're playing it. So Traveler's Amulet in. Which is nice, because it's kind of just an extra land. No, another Traveler's Amulet? No, I feel like we're only ever going to need 1. We're going to need 1 to find the extra plains, or we're going to need 1 to find the island or the forest that we need. Because we're just pretending we don't have this card. So, I guess there's not much for me here, really. So I'll take the Battle Priest, but we're not going to play it. Blurg. Not playing any of these, so let's take the Chimera. That's a really late Shipwreck Singer. Nobody must be blue-black. That's a fairly late Bloodtoll Harpy. And all these cards, except for the Guardians, are pretty late. The Guardians is an interesting idea. I don't know if I'd replace anything with it. Actually, yes, I would. I would replace the Gluttonous Cyclops with it. It will let us live a little bit longer. Satyr Rambler? I'm not going to replace anything with it, but I'll take it. Wanderer, sure. Portent of Betrayal, sure. Forest, sure. So, we want to cut 2 cards. Or 1 card, actually, because we're going to play a 41 card deck with that Fated Return just, unfortunately, in our deck, because we obey the rules here. We set the rules, and then we obey the rules, and we must play all rares. So, let me cut it out for the time being, along with these temples, which we'll also be playing. So 24, so we need to cut 1 card, and we probably want it to not be a creature. We have 14, 16 counting Flurry of Horns, which is a decent number, I suppose. I'd love to cut that Skybind or that Whims of the Fate or any number of other things. But I guess we just cut the Ajani's Presence. I think I prefer to have the Ordeal of Heliod in rather than out. So yeah, we'll cut that. So that gives us 23 cards. We are essentially red-white. We're going to splash a forest and an island. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to add in these 2 temples, and then we're going to go add basic lands. 8, 5, 1, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, sounds good. Add to the deck, and add this piece of garbage to the deck. Yeah, there's no way I'm splashing 3 swamps, or 2 swamps, I guess, and Temple of Silence just for that card. It's just going to be like Chain Veil. It's just going to be like Ugin's Nexus. It's a card we're just going to pretend doesn't exist. And when we draw it, we cry. But there's our deck. We're not going to include any of these, I don't think. Riddle of Lightning. I have some fairly expensive stuff that I can hit with that. Does that hit creatures and players? It does hit creatures and players. Much better than Fated Conflagration there. So if I Hall of Triumph, I'm going to say red, I think. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red creatures. We've got 1, 2, 3 white. 4 white. 2 blue. Can we ever get Karametra online? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can never get Karametra online. What is Karametra's non-online ability? Or I guess not many of the 2-color gods have an online ability. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you can search your library for a forest or plains and put it onto the battlefield, tapped. Then shuffle your library. It might help us out, maybe. Get some more plains down. But yeah, there's our deck. We're going to submit this and see what on earth is going to happen. But I will see you guys for round 1 and I can't think of a good description of what you may see in these 3 matches, but it's going to happen. So stay tuned for that.